chance. You goddamn crocodile! Go back to the fucking Florida! Go back to the Florida, you fucking crocodile!
マリアドンさんありがとう、Pure is too cute. I can't hold it anymore. May I bite your cat? Yes, why you bite me, bro? Don't bite me, バカ。そうそうそう、ゾンビやったら No bite, bro. そう、Pure、ゾンビになっちゃうぞ。Just bite your nose. Don't bite my nose, bro. バカ。You not have nose. I have nose. Look, I have nose. Look, my nose is moving right. Nose どここだよ。ここだよ。That is a nose. I thought it was smudgy on my screen. Smudgy. I only small smudge on my screen that I can't remove for some reason. Oh my god. Oh my god. Nose どこ Nose どこ Where is my nose? Where is my nose? I thought it's a mole. Mole じゃない。It's my nose. モールじゃない。Nose ドットじゃない。Nose. バカ。バカ。バカバカバカ。No, nose still かわいいかわいい。Nose ですだから。Sarah, I have nose. Okay? I have nose. Big nose. Pressing heart. ドットノーズ。ドットじゃない。My nose. ドットじゃない。My nose. ピョンノーズじゃないって言ってんのに。でもドットじゃないのに。ノーズだって言ってんのに。よく見えないからもっと近くで見せてくださいよ。見えないんですかピョのノーズが。こんなにキュートなノーズが見えないんですか見てください、このビッグノーズ。見てください、このビッグノーズを。What a cute nose. はい、じゃあね、スーパーチャットリーディングしますかね、スーパーチャットリーディング。はい、このピュアのノーズを見てください。ここにありますから。メディック、we needメディックなんでだよ。Stay alive, bro. Closer. Piano nose here, bro. I see a line. Nose. Pinch the piano nose. Cousin-san, find my nose. Everyone, ほら。クリーン心、クリーンハートブロキャンシー。Pure heart bro can see my nose.
All right, explain this to me like I'm retarded.
That won't be that hard.
What's up, everybody? Just starting with a longer clip today because maybe I was fighting with locals. Maybe that was what was happening in the background. We're good to see everybody here today. Of course, it's your boy Andrew Esquire back in the Thai studio with the Thai touchdown here today. A little bit of a late night one, but it's good to see everybody here in the chat. I've got a great show for you today. We're going to be going over the Nexus Corporation. We're going to be going over talking a little bit about that, some questions that have popped up regarding Nexus, specifically regarding some of the comments they made, also the structure of their corporation. So we're going to comment on that. It's going to get controversial. It's going to get real controversial. And also, we're going to get into talking about Sakana and Phase Connect going big, and also a little bit about Doki's announcement. And then if we have time, and hold on, I've got to turn on the AC here because it's getting hot in Thailand. You know, it's pretty hot here. So we're also going to go over Stellar Blade because there's been some controversy regarding that. I know Rev did a video. People have asked me to do it. I've talked about Stellar Blade before, so we're going to get into that because it's become a more nuanced topic. It's no longer just the crazy woke people censoring versus or wanting to cancel the game versus everybody else. Now there's a different battle, and there's some legal aspects, I bet, to this. So I'm going to talk about what is probably going on that nobody else is talking about, because they're not really, once again, thinking about the legal requirements that are behind corporations. So if you really want to understand this, pretty much nobody is talking about the legal side of Stellar Blade. So we're going to get into that today. This should be a really good one. So yeah, strap in. It's good to see everybody here today. What's up, everybody? Make sure you smash the like button, sharing it out. I was in, of course, you guys know I was in the Philippines. I was in Manila. I'm back here for a couple weeks in Thailand. Then I will perhaps be in the US. Who knows? Undisclosed time and location and what may happen. But in doing a lot of traveling, like I said, this couple months is a lot of traveling. But it still is prime content for you guys, and hopefully you guys are having a great time. You're having a great day out there, and everyone is doing well. Nico Mia says for 5 horse clap. I feel like I need to play the Rima intro for that, but we'll see. If I get 4 more super chats with horse emojis, we'll play the Rima intro. How about that? Actually 4 total, so 3 more. Kawa Z Perdem says for £2 says Pell Justice, Pell Happiness. Yes, that's a great clip. It's one of the longer ones, so I want to play it during the intro. So yeah, hope you guys like that. CS became a new member. Welcome, CS, to be a member of the RPG. And also one dickhead dropping 10 legal mindset memberships. Thank you for that head. Getting some head there. Appreciate that, one dickhead. Thank you for hooking everybody up. Guys, say thank you to one dickhead in the chat, because he's really coming through. That head is really coming through. But before we get into it, let's get into our favorite Yabbit. This one is actually really fun and wholesome and cute. And this is Tenma, never having experienced a low trust society. This is posted by Trigger Point here on Twitter.
I was like walking down the street with Tenma, right? And she was like, oh, we're walking down the street. We were walking to an owl cafe, okay? We were walking to this owl cafe.
Which is pretty much the most Japan thing you could ever get, is walking to an owl cafe in Japan. Yeah, let's continue.
To meet up with Owie. And she was like, oh, the street is like so shady, like we're gonna get like murdered on the way. And I'm like, bro, there's like bikes out on the street here. This is not shady.
Yeah, no one gets murdered in Japan unless you're a prime minister. Like, no one is getting murdered in Japan. Random murders just don't really happen in Japan. It's not a thing. Same thing with Korea. It's just not a thing. I have walked down so many alleys, dark alleys, narrow alleys, sketchy alleys in Korea, in Japan, with zero fear. Drunk. It's been the middle of the night. I don't know where I'm going. I'm fucking lost. I've done that all the time, all over the place, in many different cities, in Seoul, Busan, Daegu, and Tokyo, in Osaka, right? And I'm oh my God, why am I blanking on the last one that I was really in trouble for? What's the Fukuoka? That's the one. Fukuoka, right? So I remember Fukuoka. I did not know Fukuoka at all. I've been to Tokyo enough that I kind of know Tokyo. I know Osaka enough as well. But Fukuoka, I really didn't know at all. I was just fucking straight up lost. And I walked down some sketchy alleys. But once again, when I realized when I'm walking down the alley, like Agrila said, I'm a huge guy. I got nothing to worry about. I'm probably the biggest threat on that street. Like, when people see me walking down the street, they're probably intimidated. So yeah. But anyways, even for girls, I mean, I see girls, even small girls, walking down sketchy alleys at night, and it's never a problem. And then King Lugia for 6 Malaysian ringgit says, welcome back to Thailand, Legal Market. Yes, thank you. Kokun Kap, you know.
What do you mean? What are you talking about? There's like stuff outside. This is not what do you mean? What do you mean shady? Girl, what are you going on about? There, like, I cannot stress this enough. There is stuff outside the houses. Even if it was locked up, we would know it's safe out here. All right? Even if there were bike chains, which there aren't. There's just bikes out here. Come on! What do you mean? You're insane!
So yeah, this is two things. It is Pippa having never experienced a high trust society, and Tenma never experiencing a low trust society. She doesn't understand. Yeah, you can't, like, in America, if you're in, like, you know, Chicago, you can't just leave your bike out with no lock and expect it to still be there like a couple hours later. That's not going to happen, right? You can't just leave your laptop on the park bench and get it there. And yes, Hypnotic and Rapture, thank you. I have so many clips from you, bro. I cannot show them all. It's not possible. But we will show some of them towards the end if we have time. I do have a couple things we need to get to today, so we have some rush. Now, we're almost there. We're one more horse emoji away. I am here for Scruff for 5 with the horses. And then Tinkerlin with the horses says, are we horsing around? One more horse. And we go full Rima. And never, ever go full Rima. Never. Just saying. Don't go full Rima. That's it. All right. So one more. Oh yeah, here we go. And from Grapeface says, yeah, from what I heard, only the Yakuza are a threat and they have better things to do. Also, Rima lover, horse. Okay. All right. I'll count the member chat.
Thank you very much for all of your lovely art as well. Some of it a little lewd. To those of you drawing me with horses, y'all are into some fucked up shit, and I hope you get the help you need. I really truly hope you get the help you need.
There we go. Thank you, guys. Shout out to the Based Horse girls out there. I think she had a new video drop the other day. So thank you. And I'm here for Scuff for 2. Thank you for that. Yeah. Shout out to all those guys and big support to all my good friends there. We should, and the secret sauces. So Rima, much support for her. For DN, he said he's going to be in Manila about the same time I will be in the future. So we will try to link up in Manila at some point and do in-person collab. That should be fun. That should be really fun. Zach Silva Sampio became a member. Welcome as a member of the RPG, Zach. Appreciate you becoming a member, helping me do this stuff on a regular basis. All right, let's get into point number 1. Let's talk about Nexus. So this is a topic that was kind of brought up to me both by r/v virtual YouTubers. Shout out to the Reddit that I am I apparently still banned from, I guess. And also, really more importantly, the people that really got this to me was Twitter and people tagging me on Twitter, which often gets me into various news items. So we've got this Nexus Corporation. This is a new VTubing corporation. The first time I saw them was this, right? This is their Nexus First Wave debut fest. Mark your calendars. Don't miss a single debut. So April 26th. So that's, I think, now, I guess, at Any Live, 27th, 28th. So you've got these people. I mean, a lot of people coming out here and debuting for Nexus. Look at this. Clotho, Kyohei, Arix, Lulu, Sweet Hiroshi, Ravine, Odote, Nox, Kenzo, Leo Bell, Faley, Nano, Amira, Pico, Alvin, Asila, Melody, Kiko, Poet, Soma, Lumoria, Bukure, Nel, Nyansume, Pion, Endra, and Noah, right? Noah being the easiest for me to say there. But yeah, this is a lot. Like, these guys are debuting like every 30 minutes. They're dropping a new talent here. Wow. And then I think from what somebody told me, I don't know whether Captain here is involved in this. I think he may be the Annie Live CEO. I think he may be at least interested or involved in that project. But that said, Yeah, that's a lot. So I see them debuting there, coming out as a corporation, obviously starting up. And then what we're seeing here is we have their website. So they've got a website up. And they've got this here website, which originally I fucked up the thumbnail because I thought it was Nexus Project, which is a different thing, but it's actually a Nexus here. And you've got, their information here. We are Nexus. Your gateway to a radiant talent journey begins here. Forge bonds, harness your unique strength, embark on a transformative virtual talent career with Nexus. We are the academia for undiscovered talent. So there's this new generation. And then just about us from their For Creators guy, Harry here, who says, here at For Creators, we have a clear vision to evolve the world of virtual entertainment. We support creators of all kinds, fostering a community that is engaging and inspiring. Our goal is simple yet ambitious, to be a launch pad where passionate creators can find their spark and become stars of a new digital era. As the founder of For Creators, my aim is to create opportunities for creators to shine on a global stage. We're on this journey together to not just chase the future, but to craft it with our own hands. So they've got that. They've also got this angel round of funding that was completed in December. So that's something that they've gotten funding for, I believe. So if you look at their funding, and we'll be back to the website in a second, but if you look at their funding, they received funding here in December. So the seed funding was received through 7 investors, most of which are Japanese or appear to be Japanese, right? So I'm being really, really racist here. This is big racist mindset who is making the assumption that Yuzuru Honda, Yuichi Sojima, Takahiro Hayashi, Shun Oyu, Shinichi Sada, and Kazuhide Hashida are all Japanese. I know. It's a big leap, guys. I know I'm such a bigot. I'm going to get canceled by the Niji sisters again. I'm somebody in Jakarta time zone is going to get me. I know, guys. So bad. So this is an important factor. Keep this in mind that most of the money they have is coming from Asia, or at least specifically probably Japan here. So yeah. So let's just keep that in mind, because that's going to answer one of our future questions. So one of the things that was brought up, and this is one of the questions that somebody had. This is from, I think, Linmar here on Twitter. Said, Andrew, Legal Mindset, have you seen this? Do you have any thoughts? The company is based in Singapore, and viewers have to download and install their proprietary app in order to watch their VTubers and buy some sort of tokens to super chat them. Is there any reason why a VTubing company with Japanese shareholders and an American CEO would be based in Singapore and not the US and Japan? This is a fantastic question, and there is indeed a very clear answer to this. So for all those that may be curious, let me explain exactly why. And I say this as a person that not just has multiple corporations, but actually I almost set up a Singapore corporation. I don't have one yet, but I almost set one up. So I'm very familiar with Singapore corporations. And I do have several foreign corporations as well. I'm not going to tell anybody what they are or where they are, what countries they're in, but I do have several foreign corporations. So I can tell you right now why someone would incorporate in Singapore and why they would make an app to based on a proprietary app, because that is very, very related to why it's in Singapore. So let me explain a couple things about forming a corporation abroad. There's a lot of reasons you can form a corporation abroad, one of which might be if you want to live in that country. So if you're a person who wants to live in a country, let's say Japan, one of the ways you can live in Japan is to create a business there, be a business manager visa, right? So you might want to live in that country, like Korea or Japan or Philippines or Thailand or somewhere else. You might want to create a corporation to live there. But that's not what we have here. So that reason, let's throw out there. What's another reason? Taxes. Somebody said it in the, where is it? Who is it? Lanoche, I saw it right there. Taxes. Thank you very much, taxes. So one of the biggest things about Singapore is they have a very, very, very favorable tax regime. There's two things about Singapore that are very good for taxes. Number one, Singapore does not tax foreign earned income. So let me say this one more time. Singapore does not tax foreign earned income. So there's, and this is, by the way, I'm not an accountant. This is not tax advice. This is just my observations, reading generally available data. So do your own research and confirm what I'm saying. So essentially, if you are a foreign corporation and you're trying to place money in a Singapore bank, they're not going to tax that. Right. So for example, if you earned your money in the US, you're a US corporation, but you're just trying to put your money in the Singapore bank, you're not living there, you don't really have permanent ties to Singapore, you're just putting it in Singapore, they're not going to tax that money. But if you are a Singapore corporation, the good thing is the taxes are lower. They're lower. They're generally about 17%, and that's a flat rate. So they're not going to graduate that as it goes up. It's generally a flat 17% tax rate if you're a Singapore corporation or if you're somebody living in Singapore. So the rates of taxes are lower, and that's much lower than Japan or Korea. Japan and Korea will tax you so much more if you are putting your money there. So these Japanese folks would prefer Singapore. Singapore is also a very, very comfortable banking destination for Asians. If you are in Asia, people in Asia are very comfortable banking in Singapore. It's like Switzerland for Asia. Think about it like Switzerland, but instead of like fondue, you've got chicken rice, Hainanese chicken rice. By the way, I fucking love chicken rice. If you guys haven't had Hainanese chicken rice, especially one of those like hawker stands, it's really good. Chicken rice is really amazing. I stand for chicken rice. But that said, that's a big advantage. It's a super big advantage that they trust that. The laws in Singapore are really considered stable as well. Their court system is considered stable. People trust them. People know that Singapore has a politically stable government. In fact, they've had the same government in charge pretty much forever, but people like that. They want there to be stability. They don't want there to be crazy shit going on there. They don't want wild political swings in the place where they're banking. They want it to be 100% stable so they know that it's going to be safe, because every country around, especially in Asia, is kind of crazy. And look, I say that about every single country without any reserves, right? Whether it's Malaysia, whether it's Indonesia, whether it's the Philippines, whether it's Thailand, whether it's Vietnam, whether it's Laos, whether it's Japan, Korea, whatever. There's a lot more relative political ups and downs, changes between parties, instability than there is in Singapore, right? In terms of an overall like regime change. You're not going to get a wild swing in Singapore. That's just not the way things go. But the largest reason, and the reason why they're creating the app, is not taxes. It's not even stability. It's actually something else. And the reason why they're doing it there is, this is one of the things that people may not know about Singapore, which is a very, very big deal, which is that Singapore is the top spot in Asia for intellectual property rights, right? So in terms of intellectual property, in terms of protecting intellectual property, they are very, very, very strong. So if they create an app and that IP is in Singapore, they can really, really strongly protect their IP. Their IP is able to be really, really well protected in Singapore. Because of that, and because they've got such a strict regime of enforcing intellectual property, what that tells me is they're going to really drop the hammer on anybody trying to come after their stuff, right? So they're going to be very, very, very protective of what they've got. Very protective. So that's the thing. And also following that up with litigation, right? So that the difference is, here's the difference. Japan has a lot of laws, and a lot of craziness. But a lot of times what happens with Japan is this. Japan has these crazy laws, but they don't try to enforce them internationally. If you're going to Singapore, you're probably going to try to enforce those laws internationally. So this is what's probably going to go on with Singapore. So that is coming up there. And yes, you're right, Gator. Anti-Live is in the same company as Nexus. Actually, you know what, Gator? I'll send you an invite too if you want to hang out for a little bit. So Gator, check your DMs. Check your DMs now. You got a link on X. I got you, Gator. Thank you. Good to see you, brother. King Lugia sends litigator, horse, monkey. Well, since we haven't had one today. We haven't had one. Black Sheep Boy for 125 Filipino pesos says, wasn't there recently a group of people who tried to start a new streaming platform and people were like, we didn't ask for this, and they apologized? Wait, what? I did not know that. I did not know about this at all. If you have anything about this, Black Sheep Boy, send it to me because I haven't heard of it. Jacob says the first VTuber battle royale, wild times. It should be interesting. Now, where this really gets interesting, and this is where people are gonna clip me, and this is gonna get controversial, which I like. This is gonna get really controversial here. Is there was a statement. Now, I don't know where this was made. I don't know where this was from. I actually haven't found the original source. Maybe if Gator pops on, he'll know the original source for this. I don't think it's on the website. I mean, it might be, but I have no fucking clue if it is. I haven't found it yet. So there's this statement about commitment. And I don't know if you guys saw this. Somebody keeps mentioning Watcher. Wait, hold on. What does people say? Watcher channel? The Watcher. Why is people mentioning Watcher? Anyways. Yeah. So what we've got here is this spicy statement. So let me put this here. Okay. So we've got support tailored to commitment. Oh, it's the fail platform. Okay, thank you guys. Watcher is the fail platform. Thank you, Michilati. Thank you for clarifying. Okay, cool. Yeah, that might be. I don't know whether that's related or not. But the thing is that once you create another platform, it's hard to start up a platform. Look at Rumble, look at Odyssey, look at all these other platforms. Like, it's very difficult to just start something up and have it work. Look at everything that tries to replace YouTube. Look at what tries to replace X. Nothing that has worked to replace Twitter, X, whatever. Like, they just don't work. People will say, oh yeah, I'm just going to replace it. And it won't work. It's like, nice try. It's really difficult to get the buy-in, to get the ads, to get everything else. So, yeah, that's difficult. Yeah, I think. Okay, hold on. I just saw a post here by. Let me share a post by Captain before we do the statement here. This is another post right here. So this is one I saw just now. Right. Hey folks, Anti-Live is an app where you can suddenly feel rich. JK, new VTubing app. Enjoy Anti-Live with bonus coins. So we are having an announcement. Everyone is joining the streams. So you've got the streams here. You've got 1,500 coins. You've got Nexus closed alpha anniversary. Cone bonus 10,000 coins. Everyone that's installed the Anti-Live closed alpha app during these dates, are you ready to support your Oshi? So it's looking like there's some stuff going on here with the coins in this app. So yeah, that's sounding a little interesting. Now, let's go further. But before we go further, let's intro. Let's give him an intro.
Maybe I have a chance. You goddamn crocodile! Go back to the fucking Florida! Go back to the Florida, you fucking crocodile!
What's up, Gator?
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, just good. Just saw you in the chat and thought you might be able to. If I make any misstatements, feel free to correct me here. But I was just looking at how Anti-Live just had that. Captain just posted out that comment about the app, the Anti-Live app, right? And using kind of the coin system And I guess this is a platform where Nexus is also going to debut on this platform as well.
Yes.
So this seems interesting. Seems like it's an app where you buy coins in order to pay, which I guess is similar to Twitch Bits or any other platform where you might buy some sort of virtual currency and pay in a virtual currency.
And Necro and I have been watching the debuts because he has the app on his iPhone. I don't have an iPhone. I've got an Android.
Sure.
It seems very similar in nature to like TikTok. So you saw the TikTok streams where people could like spend real money to send like emojis or whatever. It's kind of the
Roses
same sort of
and
deal.
Stuff like that. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. It's very similar to that. The difference being that with AnyLive, it seems to be like a one-stop shop. So it not only streams, but it's also doing the model tracking, and it's doing it in such a way that it allows them, because that was kind of like the premise from when I was doing my research, that it seems like the idea is that you could stream from literally anywhere using the features of the iPhone that are built in. And that's why they don't have the Android app yet, because Android phones are all over the place in terms of the kinds of facial recognition software and tracking that they use.
Right. So the iPhone is the gold standard for face tracking right now.
Right.
So, right. Which makes sense. So yeah, and I don't know if you like had any thoughts about Nexus in general. Obviously, I was responding earlier to this comment about the Singapore company, right, which has an American CEO. By the way, not weird to have somebody just because your company is in one country doesn't mean your leadership can't come from another. Most multinational corporations will end up having a leadership that is very mixed in terms of like where they're from and what countries they're from, particularly if your target audience is Americans. So if you're targeting a lot of English speakers, then having an American CEO might be really smart, right? Or if you're trying to expand in the EN market, right, that might be smart, right? Versus having Japanese shareholders, because the Japanese are the most bought in on VTubing. So it doesn't like everything here makes sense to me if you understand what the objective for each was, right? Singapore, I think, is to mainly protect their IP. It's pretty good on taxes, well respected, good legal regime, right? Japanese shareholders because they're the ones simping for the Oshis, and then American CEO because you're expanding in EN. I don't know if that all makes sense to you, Gator.
It does. I'm not 100% sure if I think the CEO is American, because when I went to the Nexus website, he calls himself Harry, but his full name is Hiromitsu. So I believe
Harry is like what we call the Starbucks name in Asia. It's like the name they write on the Starbucks cup in America because they don't want to write Hiromitsu. He's just like, Harry this. It's
So there's a lot of stuff on the website that makes me think that he may not be like completely 100% fluent in English. There's some like telltale signs of ESL on the website, and I suspect that a lot of the misconceptions are coming from that.
Yeah, and I think I do think that he may just end up being, I don't know whether he's actually the CEO or just one of the top angel investors. Like we don't really know, what this, the four creators, if you look them up. So let's pull this up real quick to show you. Sorry, Melissa Torres. I don't need you to help me with my fucking LinkedIn here. So let me show you because I pulled this thing up on LinkedIn, and of course somebody's trying to get you to buy something in like 2 seconds. Okay.
Of course.
So tell Melissa to F off. So here's 4 creators building My Hero Academia for the EN VTubers. Well, first of all, you should not be using like branded anime names in your slogan.
Right.
Like, you should not be doing that.
Like, I get the concept though. He wants to essentially build a sort of like a nest egg for VTubers to start out in, and then they move on to the main stage or whatever.
Yeah. And by the way, I love this too. Shiori Novelite Night says, I'm from Singapore, and I can tell you those are true. There you go. There you go. We got some Singapore love here. Also, Shiori, who says here, Nexus sounds like a nice concept, but the CEO of this project, Harry, just want to make a quick buck. I feel he won't be a good CEO. The fact he insults people who criticize just to backpedal. Yeah, that's not a good sign if that's what he's done. Now, I haven't seen his tweets, but If that's what he's done, then that would be bad.
I'll say this, that to me it sounded like he was trying to defend the company and the VTubers, because a lot of people, because like if you're a guy that actually cares about what you're doing, you know, you're going to be a very vocal defender of it.
Yeah,
and
you should be.
Versus somebody like Rico Tazumi, who's like never going to talk about like anything at all. He's just going to sit up there and just be like, "Oh, it's negligible."
Negligible. Yes. It should be. Yeah, you should be defending your talent. You should be defending your company. That's your job, right? If you're a CEO or even a chief investor, right? And I get that you're going to do that even sometimes to the point where you're going out on a limb for your company and for your talent, and you're being a little bit overzealous, but you can forgive somebody for that. Right.
And I think that's what it was. And I think he immediately realized his mistake in just arguing with haters, because that's like, you should never do that. You should never, because like there's constructive criticism, and then there's just like tarred criticism, and you just have to throw the
tweeters. Yeah.
Right. You just have to throw the like, because that's the thing. He was like not only arguing with people that were like trying to give constructive criticism, but he was also falling for like the easy bait. And it's like, come on, bro. You can't.
A lot of people do that on Twitter. I will say a lot, and it's really sad to see people do it. I've seen folks do it in Respawn where they shouldn't even. And like I even told Aviel of Idol when I was talking with him, like some of the things he responds to, I wouldn't respond to. I would just be like, yeah, I'm ignoring that. Right. But like, you know, sometimes the CEOs feel like they need to respond a little bit more than they should. And if they just click on the account and they see the fact is like the account has like 10, 20, 30 followers, it's like, yeah, you don't need to respond to this, because this is probably somebody who created a troll account, or maybe even 0 followers, right? Where they created a troll account just to talk shit and cause problems and stir shit. You don't need to respond to that. This is not some social media crisis because a bunch of 0 follow V-tweeters, you know, came out there and tried to stir drama, right? You can just kind of ignore that.
Right. And of course, you know, they're not only trying to bait posts, but they're trying to generate content for themselves too. And what happened? He goes out and he responds to all of them, and now that's going to be like what everybody talks about. And it unfortunately is going to distract from the debut of all of these VTubers. Exactly.
And it's going to take away from that. And so when we talk about stuff that's taking away from that, we get this. And let me show you the statement here, which is pretty interesting. Here it is. This is support tailored to commitment. And I'm just going to read the whole thing and then tell me what you think about this, Gator. Please understand that while we provide an environment for talents to autonomously utilize with sufficient support systems in place, individualized support for each person will be less. Consider the analogy of universities or high schools. Services aren't equal for all. More diligent students often receive more attention and support from teachers, while those that neglect their studies and attendance might not graduate. While equal opportunities for learning are provided, leveraging them depends on the student's initiative. Similarly, in Nexus, we actively support those who demonstrate a high level of engagement and ambition. If you want to call it as favoritism, it might be true in a sense, but please understand that we will do it more systematically. Specifically, we're establishing a system that rewards talents who achieve good results in various Nexus events and competitions. We aim to create a community where the competitive environment transparently benefits those who excel. So I want to hear what you think about this. I have some pretty controversial thoughts on this, but I want you to get your thoughts out there first.
It sounds to me like what they're doing is they're essentially setting like a benchmark for, we want to see like how much time and effort you're willing to put into this. And the more time and effort that you're willing to put into this, the more like that they're going to push you, so that people that got into this maybe thinking that, you know, they're going to do the bare minimum will get the bare minimum of support. Like I don't know if I necessarily agree with the idea, because I've always been somebody, I really like the idea of having more managers available, because I don't like seeing people have a dream and then the dream like fail on them and they get disillusioned.
Right.
That's really my only concern here. But it's like a gauntlet, right? Or a marathon. You know, everybody starts out at the same level, and then you see who's the best at running the marathon. That's kind of my take here.
Yeah, I'm gonna piss chat off a little bit here, but then I'll give some context. So I actually think this could be. I mean, there's a possibility this could be.
Hello, Beso Department.
It could be pay for performance. It could be something where, you know, look, the better people do better. And to be clear, I think it's good to incentivize people to do well. I think that
Agreed.
It's have an incentivized to work better, because if you have it, let me give you two different models. You're somebody who has a pure salary. You are paid the same no matter how well you do at your job or poorly you do at your job. As long as you don't get fired, you are paid the exact same amount. Versus another person who, if they reach certain milestones, certain quotas, is paid bonuses, is given incentives, is given certain benefits. That person who's got the incentives is clearly going to work harder each and every single time versus the person who has a salary. The incentive is to work as little as possible. That's the whole quiet quitting, right? To do as minimum as you can do without being fired. Like the most you can get away with without getting fired is what you should do if you're working a salaried job where there's no incentives. You should do as little as possible because there's no incentive to do any more than the least possible work that you need to do to not get fired versus to do hard work. And obviously the thing is, in a social, so obviously the competition is one thing. The problem is they structured this in a really weird way. And the way they said it sounds bad. So now I'm walking it back a little bit. Like the way they needed to come out here and say this, they could have just said it more simply. This is kind of, to me, a fail of PR in saying, yes, there's going to be bonuses for milestones, but everybody gets the same level of support, right? There's a basic level of support. Everyone gets it, right? So everyone gets a basic level of support. And if you achieve certain milestones, we're going to incentivize you for that. We're going to pay you for that. And obviously the thing is, that's also how YouTube works, to be clear. YouTube incentivizes you to work hard and to create good content and create content the algorithm likes. If you don't do that, you are punished by the algorithm. You're punished by your fans if you're creating shit content. So YouTube is competitive, right? Because there's other things to watch. And if people, if my stream is on at the same time as another person's stream, you have to choose between the two. So there is always a level of competition, but I do think the way they worded this, I kept reading it and I'm like, I just feel like they didn't need to say it like this. And
that's what leads me to think that maybe this was translation, this was ESL, because I understood what they were trying to say, and I see where people get the misconception, but that was kind of my takeaway, that it's like, oh, well, there's obviously going to be like a base level of support, but if you're a really hard worker and, you know, you're putting a lot of time and effort into, you know, reaching out, building communities, you know, playing new games, trying new things, like they see that commitment, they'll put even more effort into you because they're like, hey, this person gets it. They really care about what they're doing. Like a great example, Selene Totsky, like she was always on the ball. She's one of the hardest working women in all of VTubing. She was always trying to like create new art, new songs, new events. She's just like always pushing the envelope. Pomu's another great example. Pomu's very creative. She was always out there like trying new things, doing new stuff. People like those two excel in scenarios where they're allowed to flourish and they're allowed to do their thing. And I feel like that's kind of the very basic concept for this, is they want to incentivize people to put their best foot forward and to, like, you know, Plus Ultra, right? He's a My Hero fan.
Yeah, like Super Boreem said for 5, you need to explain to chat that it's trying to be merit based. So clearly, clearly the intent here is to be merit based, but they said, once again, I think Gator may hit it there, and a lot of you guys may mention it in the chat as well. It may be an ESL issue where the way they translated this is not good and didn't come off right, but I understand they're trying to say, look, those that do better are going to get better. And let's be clear how this is different than Niji, because I see all you guys in the chat earlier were saying, it's another Niji. Well, here's what was fucked up about Niji. Niji was not a meritocracy. Niji, because see, the thing is, Selen Tatsuki did objectively better than other people in that same corporation, but was not given adequate resources, support, management. She was not given the resource. She was winning awards for them, for that corporation, right? And they actively suppressed her. That is not a meritocracy.
She was winning awards and she was excluded from most of the merch.
Yeah, exactly. So what does that tell me? That's not a meritocracy. That's a clique, right? That's the favoritism, in my opinion. Favoritism is when it's not based on merit. If it's based on, okay, you are making more, you are winning awards, you get some benefits. Oh, Doki, you did this. You get to, you get to do a bunch of extra stuff. We're going to pay for extra stuff. We're going to pay for last cup of coffee without asking questions. We're just going to do that, right? Instead, they decided to target her and single her out and, put intense mental and emotional pressure on her, right? That's not merit. That's not what you would call merit. Not at all. Let me get some of these comments here. Sounds like a pyramid scheme to me. I don't know about
pyramid scheme. See, so they used the little pyramid, and I get what they were trying to say, but people, I think it's a misconception with what people understand pyramid scheme or not. Because just because they use the pyramid icon doesn't always mean it's a pyramid scheme. Pyramid scheme would imply that the talent invested some sort of money and they pay like somebody that pays somebody that pays somebody. But from my understanding, there's no payments going up to the top or anything like that. It's just, it's another thing that I think was kind of a lost in translation moment, because when we see things like that, that's the first thing we think of. We think of pyramid scheme. Whereas in Japan, that's not something that they're really thinking about.
Yeah. And look, I get this, like what they're trying to say. We actively support those who demonstrate a high level of engagement and ambition. But then when people say here, like Bashi Boy, if it's a battle royale and termination is regular, that's a lot of models, rigs invested with high risk of being out of commission. I just don't think that this is a very good point. If they were really intending a battle royale like to that extent, you're gonna incur real costs of making all those models and rigs, and then people just dropping out quickly. That's not gonna look good. So yeah, that would be a loss. Now the losses are not the same level as VNU. VNU who claim $500,000 for is the cost of each model or whatever. And launching somebody, debuting somebody. It's not that level, but there would be costs, and it is kind of a silly way to do it. Scorpion says sounds like a business incubator, a little bit.
Right, it's like it almost sounds like a business incubator, but for VTubers.
I like this. Manage democracy or damage meritocracy. And let's get the pyramid here, because you showed me this. So this is on their website, next website. What is Virtual Talent Academia? Right. So once again, I really think they need to not just copy My Hero Academia and need to not do that. I think for a company that's incorporated in Singapore and cares about IP, they need to not be using other people's IP, because at this point they might be even viewed as a derivative product of My Hero Academia, and they could be sued by My Hero Academia if they're intentionally trying to confuse the branding by using academia and on their LinkedIn by putting My Hero Academia. They need to be very careful with that. I'm Harry, the founder of Nexus. Thank you for interest in the first audition. So this is a sheet here, and what they have at the bottom, here's the pyramid, right? This is the pyramid.
Right. This is where people's misconception was born from.
Okay. So building a new career path. We aim to forge new career paths for virtual talents. So Nexus Virtual Academy, so where they have, once again, they need to stop using the My Hero Academia imagery. This is really going to be bad for them. The Virtual Talent Academy, where it's a curriculum to learn from basic to advanced, meet friends and rivals, and compete and train with each other. And then Top Talent Production, total support for professionals. Only talents who establish fan base are entitled to join. So essentially saying in this way, this is how it sounds like a battle royale right here, right? This is where
right. And that's where people, and this is where people are, I think, getting the most misconception, because it sounds like the idea is that you're part of the Virtual Talent Academy, and once you like establish yourself and like build up your reputation and build up an audience, then you like move to the next stage and they kind of take the training wheels off and you're kind of allowed to do your own thing. That's what it sounds like to me.
That's what it sounds like to me too. That's what it sounds like to me too. And theoretically, it would not be a problem for them to say, okay, if you're a talent and you get to 100,000, let's just say that, right? 100K, right? Getting that plaque, right? You get to 100K. When you get to 100K subs on YouTube, you get to have a full-time manager who's only dedicated to you, not shared with anybody else. You get to produce X amount of music videos, maybe like one music video a quarter or whatever, every other month. I don't know what the fuck it is, whatever, right? You get to have full access to the game library, whatever. You get to have all these perks and benefits, anything you need. You get new models like at request, like maybe once per every couple months, per quarter, you can request like a model update. You're getting like a huge support package. Whereas at the beginning, before you've gotten to 100K, you have a basics level of support, right?
Right. So maybe it's like you get your initial model, and then like once you make it to like the next stage, right? Like, so you're out of high school, you're in college now, right?
Right.
Maybe they'll do things like a 3D model, so you can do like concerts and stuff. And
Sure.
Like that's kind of my understanding when they talk about support. I think they're talking about like, like a 3.0 model. You get the new fancier model, or you get alternative costumes and things like that. That's kind of what I'm thinking they mean by support.
Right. This would be very interesting, but it does not seem like, even with the ESL, that the intent is to say, okay, we're going to form a clique and like certain people are going to be benefited over others because they're the cool kids and you're not the cool kids.
Right. I don't
get that
think
as the intention.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Because I think they mean rivals. And that's another thing too. It's like in Japan, the idea of a rival is different than in America. Because in America, a rival is somebody that like bullies you and treats you like crap. In Japan, it's like someone that's like pushing you from, that's like they're trying to get better while you're trying to get better, and it's more like a friendly thing.
It's the anime version of a rival. Like, for example, in this one, like Bakugo and Deku, right? And to use My Hero Academia, because we're using My Hero Academia because we're stealing IP here, but okay, sure, right? It's people who are paired up with, it's Vegeta and Goku. They push each other to become better.
Pippa and Tenma.
Pippa and Tenma, there you go. You push each other to become better. That's actually really healthy. You need somebody to do that. Actually is super healthy, and it actually is really positive, as long as that competition is a friendly competition and does not evolve into a knife fight. It doesn't go into stuff like sabotage. Stuff like people are going out there and cutting your internet cables in order to keep you from streaming, as long as it's not Pippa and Walmart level competition.
Right.
We'll say. But yeah, no, as long as it's friendly, it's okay. That's actually good. And it is positive. And I think it's good to have people to peg yourself against because it helps you push yourself. Healthy ways, not unhealthy, but healthy.
Right.
There is something to that. Let's get these super chats. There's a couple of them here. Matches Burn says, I'm a rebel. I'm going to Singapore and chewing gum. You better be careful, bro. You don't want to get caned, okay? Just be careful, man. Black Sheep Boy says, Watcher. I brought it up because it looks like Nexus is also making a new platform, apparently. I'm curious how they're going to make that work. Well, this is a comment from my mod here, Professional Gentleman, who says they're hobbling the talents with the app. It's mobile only, excluding PC users. It's iOS exclusive, which is less than 20% of the global market.
One thing that I noticed,
that's dumb. That's dumb.
Yeah. Well, one thing I noticed though is that they're not just going to be streaming on the app. I don't know any like specific details, but it seemed like the debuts were on the app. I'm sure there's some deal or something that they went through, but it seems like everybody's going to be posting content on like YouTube or Twitch in addition to on the app. I think the app is not just like a platform for streaming. It's also like they got the 3D tracking built in. And so that's why it's on iOS. But I think that's an important distinction to kind of make here is that it's the app that they're streaming from, but it's also going to be multi-streamed to multiple platforms. So it's not just going to be just this one thing. So
it's not going to be app exclusive.
Right.
It will be
just
streamed on other platforms.
This one stream was app exclusive in terms of like the live portion, but I've already been hearing people say that they're going to like repost it on other websites and stuff. So I think it's just, I think it was mostly just to like do the test to kind of make sure that the underlying infrastructure was good.
Right. To make sure everything is working correctly and it's all good and everything's fine with that. I'm trying to get it over there. Yeah. So let's see what else we got here for Nexus. Is it bad when the CEO gets too heated on Twitter? Yes. It also is very true with CEOs who don't have a lot of experience on the internet. So they don't understand how you need to move on and who you need to ignore and not ignore. The difference in like competence would be, and I'm not trying to make him perfect here, but like Elon obviously handles social media a lot better than some other CEOs, right? Who may see stuff and spurg out on Twitter, right? They may just go crazy and like just absolutely like lose their shit because one person with no followers, says something negative. Versus like dropping a meme or responding in a way or responding in a funny way or ignoring somebody, right? That's often more important. Let's see. Shorty says 2 months. Also react to the Bro Tug HoloLive. The clip, the Bro Tug. What? Huh? I don't know. I'll have to check that out. Sorry. Ann Hinder says it's more a hardware compatibility than compatibility over Apple being the gold standard. They just have a larger known standard, so it's easier to develop for in terms of motion tracking. That sounds about right. Shuri says also requested the react to the Hollow. Okay, so Hollow the Bro clip. Let's see if I can find that. Wait, Hollow the Bro Tug. Oh, okay. I'll save this one. It's 54 seconds, but I'll save it for the end. Iram says, make the watermelon stop. Its eyes are judging me.
Oh, it's judging you, huh?
Hold on. There you go. Judging. The eyes of judgment. The eyes of judgment. Einander says sounds less favoritism and more meritocracy. Yeah, it sounds that way from the beginning, right? But I think somebody said this here, Ziodun 1225. I always played as Ziodun in Dynasty Warriors. Fucking
yes.
Cool sword, fucking badass sword.
Away with you.
So were you gonna say as long as it doesn't devolve into Ichisanji? Yes. Because there are ways in which meritocracy can devolve. And that's something that you need to, as a corporate culture, prevent. So if you're going to say, okay, we're going to do meritocracy, you need to make sure it does not become that opportunity doesn't become opportunity to bully, right? That's very, very, very important, because there are ways that can happen. Here's how that happens. And let me explain very quickly how that happens. So let's say you have somebody who becomes popular, Vox Sakana, and that person picks their friends and uses their perks to benefit themselves, but also their chosen friends. This creates a de facto clique where you've got to kiss the ass of the person that are the top performers in order to get the benefits of the top perks of the people at the top.
Right. It needs to just purely be a meritocracy where it's like that person, but they're not allowed to like say, well, I got this, but you know, this guy deserves this and this guy deserves this.
That's why money generally works the best, because if you're, it's just, money is simple. Money is so fucking simple. It's like, if you do well, if you get 100K, we're going to give you a bonus. You're going to get a bonus, and it's going to be whatever the bonus is, a certain amount of money.
Right.
$10,000, let's say. I'm just going to throw a number out there. Could be less, could be more, whatever. You hit 100K, we give you $10,000 US, right? You hit a million, right? And we give you 50,000, whatever it is. And they just give it to you as a paper performance bonus. They just say, yep, you hit these certain milestones, you sell X amount in merch, we give you this, right? On top of your percentage. So maybe you have a 50-50 split with merch, but if you sell, you know, $10 million in merch or whatever, $1 million in merch, we're going to give you whatever, right? We're going to cut you out.
Right. If you push, and Twitch actually does that too. With like the number of subscribers that you have, members that you have, they'll actually, like, the bigger you are, the more willing they are to make the split more in your favor. And that's kind of my understanding. That's what I would assume that they mean by the support, is that if you're one of their like top creators and you're like really pushing the envelope, that things are more in your favor.
Right, which makes sense, and frankly, that would be presumably okay.
Yeah, so under a model like this, somebody like Selentatsky would be like, you know, absolutely killing it. You know, she wouldn't have to sit there and look at her negative bank account.
No, that wouldn't be something that would be a problem. They should just be paying for the stuff that she requests, as long as it's a reasonable request. Creative Burst is also, with debuting so many and hard to split the oxygen, it makes it harder for each streamer to get attention independent of how good they are. Well, Gator, you said they're kind of doing it TikTok style. So I guess like if that's their intent, there really isn't much, like, it's really short attention span sort of stuff. I mean, what do you think about splitting the oxygen?
And also, I looked at the list of debuts, and it seems like that it was done in such a way so that they had maximum coverage throughout this entire weekend. So I think the number of streamers was basically like, okay, we need like enough people to actually stress test this app, and to have somebody at like between this block of time have at least one stream every 30 minutes.
Right. Black Sheep Boy says, imagine it being more of a parento thing where 80% of the income comes from 20% of the roster. The question is, will lesser talents be carried in some way, or they'll be on their own? Well, that's typical, I think, of most corporations and most like YouTube, for example, in general, all of YouTube, flesh tubers, VTubers, everybody on YouTube, everything on YouTube. Most of the money on YouTube comes from the top creators, because the advertisers, the big advertisers, are willing to pay big advertising money, want to advertise on channels that get millions of views. They don't really, they care a little bit about smaller channels, but in the aggregate, if they can get 1 million views, they don't give a fuck if it's from one big channel or from 100 smaller channels. They just want the 1 million views. But it's easier to sell those bigger channels because they already have an established brand. They can just sell, okay, well, you're going to advertise on Mr. Beast or whatever, or, you know, whatever channel, and you're going to get 1 million views, right? So that may be it. Now, if that's the case, once again, this is why money is easier. So if the top people are making more money, just give them more money, just compensate them better. And that, I think, takes care of that. Einhander says it almost reads more as if it was localized instead of just straight translated. It almost reads as if things were added to try to make it flow better. I feel like they didn't need to say some of those things. They could have just left them out and not said like not everybody is equal, because yes, that's true. And like, but and maybe even
it
once
gives
again,
the wrong impression, because it makes you think that like some people are getting like more support from the starting line than others, but that doesn't seem to be the case.
Look, I've said this, and I'll say it again. Not everybody, if you're a prospective VTuber, you may fail, and you may not, VTubing may not be the thing for you. Streaming may not be the thing for you. Maybe your type of content is a different type of content. Maybe you're not a good streamer, but you're good at making pre-recorded videos. Maybe you're better at that. Maybe
you're
just
really good at documentaries.
Sure, like Rima, right? Like, you know, and maybe that's your thing. Maybe the majority of your views come from your long form content. Maybe that's your thing. Maybe you're a guy who's better at support and you need to be behind the scenes. Maybe you need to be an artist, right? Maybe you need to be somebody else who's helping people manage stuff, right? Maybe you could be a manager, right? But you're not good as a talent themselves. Not everybody has the same amount of skills, and that's fine. That's normal. So to say that like, yeah, not everybody who wants to be a VTuber is going to be successful is true, because many times you will start a job and it's okay to do something and realize that you don't like doing that. We've made it really weird in the modern era where you have to dedicate yourself to something. And if you don't like that, you're not allowed to ever change what you do ever in your whole life. That's not normal. That's not okay. You should be able to change if you feel like you're not skilled for that, or you feel like your talents are best used elsewhere. Chaos Smasher says, except Vegeta is a jobber forever. Rip Vegeta. Oh man. Matsuka's Gaming says, sounds how AKB48, which is the one where the girl shaved her head because she was under so much social pressure. This sounds how AKB48 did their A, B, C, D teams. At the end of the year, there's a shuffle where team placements change according to results. I mean, you know, there's stuff that's on its face is okay, but like, there's elements within that go too far. Like I am pretty pro meritocracy, guys. I'm not gonna like try to pretend I'm not. I genuinely believe that meritocracy is good, but the problem is you need to fight against cronyism and favoritism, you know, groups, other forms of corruption. Like those are things you actually need to take implements against. So like sorting people by performance on its face is not bad. But the problem is, are there things going on to modify those performance results, right? Are there alliances being formed? Are there people being undercut? Is there cheating, right? There needs to be things that make sure it's a fair process. The biggest problem people have is the huge talent abuse in the app. People look at Niji and VNU as examples of shotgun abuse. Yeah, I can see that argument. Fishman is pretty girled on Twitter. Just jokes. Oh, we're gonna talk about the Fishman in a second. It's all positive stuff. Don't worry. We're getting to the Fishman. Zenpai says the app is not ISO only, it's in beta. The beta is iOS only, but they said on Twitter that it will be on Android at some point. Well, Gator, they said it on Twitter, so that's gotta be true, right?
They did say that there will be an Android version, but specifically there's some issues with the tracking. There's so many different kinds of phones on Android as opposed to just the Apple infrastructure. So that was like the hiccup that they had with an Android version.
Yeah. Which does happen. All in all question, will they treat the talents right? If they do, I don't care about the model. If they don't, let's bring some democracy to their asses.
And that's kind of the point that I've been trying to make on Twitter. I'm like, before anybody rushes to judgment, let's see how things shape up. You know, we know, and you know, we can be very vocal about like the way that things ought to be. And who knows, maybe they'll come up with a model that will work and can be used for like future companies. Maybe the meritocracy model that they're coming up with will actually be like the panacea, the magical solution to everybody's problem. But we don't know if we go ahead and rush to judgment and say that they're bad before they've even like gotten one foot in front of the other, then you could be missing out on an opportunity. I want to give companies an opportunity to impress us or to not impress us before I start rushing to judgment and being like, oh, black company.
Right. And that's how I'm at too. I want to give people I want to take a general wait and see approach. And once again, everyone comes to me saying, oh, Andrew, you're just so critical of the corporation. Actually, no, I'm fairly willing to give them a chance, but let's see how they actually react. Let's see what goes down. Let's see what the talents say. Let's see that contract, baby. Cause I know, oh boy, I know it ain't going to be long before I see one of their contracts. Your boy gets a lot of contracts behind the scenes. It ain't going to be long before I see a Nexus contract. So I'll be able to say something about that, I'm sure, in the future. So yeah, we'll give a little bit of a wait and see approach. But if they're bad, you guys know I'm not going to pull any punches. Like if these guys are bad, if these guys are actually like, black company, Kurosanji style, it's going to be all
Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you!
not going to pull any punches there, guys. So this is, hold on, let's see. So I believe you sent me here, Gator, the tweet about Android. Am I correct? Okay, so this is, I think, is this from Captain? Okay, so for Android users, and by the way, I can see why everyone thinks Captain is the CEO, because I guess he's in charge of the AnyLive app, which is what they're on. So anyways, for Android users who want to peek in, since Android has many models and face tracking is unstable, it will take some time, but the team is working hard every day to release the Android app until late at night. Hey all, the stream is up to allow people to join in time and allow them to go live. Android users come watch the Nexus live debuts. So there we go.
So they were streaming all of the debuts on another platform too, so that you could peek in and see. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I can see that. Let's see. Einhander says, by the way, comrade, we have updated the Vox Stinger now with more squishy sounds for comrades. ASMR. Bye now.
Man, Vox has not had a good week.
Degenerates.
Wrong one.
Degenerates. You guys degenerates.
Oh boy, why hasn't he had a good week? What's been so bad?
Well, you know how he's kind of like retreated to his fortress in Billy, right?
Fortress of Billy, yes.
Yeah. Well, he debuted a new model and this like whole story. That's very like Japanese in origin, but there's a problem with that. He's on a Chinese app, and they were not too thrilled with the with Samurai Vox, and he posted cringe. He rules a subscriber.
Yeah, I lose a subscriber. Yeah, that is not going to go down well. I mean, that's like if you're like, oh yeah, here's my World War II Nanking outfit for Fox Akuma. It's like, yeah, it's not so good. Not so good. Hey, we're debuting in Korea, and here's my Japanese flag on the Liancourt Rocks, aka Dokdo, right? It's like, let's see how well that goes. It's like all the things you could do to piss off a nationality. It's like everything you could do to piss off nationality. Oh, we're doing the Tiananmen Square Day here, and we're doing the Free Tibet Day here in China. Yeah, that's not going to go down well. You not too smart with that one, bro. Niji no smart. Alpha O says, early shift tomorrow. Can't stay. Have a good day, night. Ambitious, but it's oversaturating. Most won't take off, probably, sadly. I hope this works, though. Yeah, it's the shotgun approach. And I get why people don't like the shotgun approach, because compared to a more like, we're going to invest in you, a quality over quantity method, it appears more exploitive, and there is room for it more, I think. But it isn't necessarily a horrible thing, because if you want to think about it a different way, a company that just debuts one single talent is only giving one person a chance. Otherwise, you're giving more people a chance, so more people have a chance to succeed. If you're debuting 10 people, then 10 people have a chance, right? Versus just one. So, there's some sort of math there. There's some sort of thought, I think, to it. For Fred says Gator, I just have a problem with doesn't seem to be the case part based on what?
In relation to what specifically? Oh, you're saying like for the support stuff. I mean, I'm just taking what I'm reading on their website and interpreting it.
Yeah. So once again, based on what we read, I guess what Gator's saying, based on what we read, we haven't seen enough yet to make it up either way. But trust me, guys, listen, I know we all get impatient here, but the second it looks like there's tangible evidence of them doing, black company stuff or taking bad actions, they're going to get called out, especially nowadays. Come on, guys. There's so much scrutiny on this sector nowadays. There's so much there that they are going to get called out. But to be fair and to be honest and to keep our credibility, because to me, credibility is very important. And I don't think it wouldn't be credible to say they've done a bunch of bad stuff. At worst, they should have hired a better translator, right? Okay. That you can get them on that one. They should have hired a better translator. Are you paying Niji Sanji wages? God, are you paying? Now hold on. The Singapore minimum wage is more than the Japanese.
Yeah, so it's not going to be like $7 lawyers.
No, what is it right now? Hold on. The Singapore minimum wage. What is it? It does not have an annual. Okay, so blah blah blah. Let's see what the average. Let's look at the average wage, right? So the average hourly. Let's go with an hourly wage because that'll be more of a good indicator. About $8 an hour. Is that Singapore or US? Let me go here. Okay, so that's like an average hourly. Oh, sorry, $9 an hour. $9 an hour for part time. Okay, cool. But what is this? Okay, just reading some more stuff here. All right, but if you're paid on a salary, it averages out to more like $23 an hour. Okay, got it. Okay, cool.
Nexus is just getting started, and they're already stunting on Niji Sanji. Is what you're telling me?
Already. Well, although we don't know those are real. That's just me freaking guessing based off Glassdoor numbers. Yeah, I mean, not much there. Music Fix said, "Did I hear cronyism?" I see what you did there. I see you. Chaos Smash says, LM piloting the Vox Tinga with the Anya smug face.
Disgusting.
That's all I have to say to you. Get zerged, says Vox also got a huge bot raid during his birthday stream. Really? That was it while he was wearing the samurai thing?
I bet it was.
That would make a lot of sense. Shuri says, can I request another clip to cure from all the negativity? The clip is called Doki Bird and Cell and Intro Side by Side. I promise you I've seen it. We've already watched that, but in as we transition topics here, we're going to have another clip, and this is one that two people sent a super chat on, so this will make up for it, which is the bro tug incident. Okay. The bro tug incident.
First was the bro hug. Now bros are doing blank.
The bro tug.
Use your imagination.
Oh, I don't want to see it.
America's second favorite pastime.
What's the first?
I agree.
How many times?
Well, you've got to tug a couple times.
Batman insists on doing every day.
What?
Oh my god. I thought we could just leave it all behind. It
Never.
just applied for everything.
So good. So good, guys. So good.
The bro tug while you charge your crystals with each other.
Already see the clip that I put on Discord, or should I not expect that to happen? I can go check. over there, Gordo, but probably not today. Probably not in this stream, but I'll check because I don't want to pull up Discord while I'm streaming here. Let me see. LCL Anime Guy says, would men resign up their military contracts if we ship girls and T-dolls with the ability to reproduce? AL and GFL fandom seem to. What about you? If there were actual, so hold on. If joining the military entitled you the right to a ship waifu, we would have full enlistment.
Right, they would never need another volunteer ever again because it's like, no, they have to turn people away from the military.
There would be
at that point.
so many seamen, it would be impossible to count all of the seamen.
Hey-oh.
Not as in, I cannot absolve you. Mega based.
McKenna's Golden Gear says, oh God, I can't sleep anymore, so might as well watch. Yes, welcome. Sharko says, making pizza muffins while listening is awesome. Sounds delicious. I need to get lunch after this. All right, so let's get into some more positive news. And that is our boy Sakana, right? This is some fan art. This is actually what I saw first. I was like, this is fucking great fan art. What is he making it rain on? Like, what is the fish man making it rain on? Which is a part of the thumbnail. Like this in the thumbnail. And I was really surprised because, you know, you have CEOs who do things differently, right? And this is one that I thought was really fucking awesome. Meanwhile, while Riku is, you know, buying his new yacht and, you know, he's got his McLaren parked out front, Sakana just fucking sponsored the entire Off-Kai Expo vendor hall.
Yes.
Right? So here's the message
all of
from
the
artists,
artists, all of the vendors completely covered. They get their money back.
All of it. Dear vendors, we are emailing you some great news. FaZe Connect, the official sponsor of the Off-Kai Expo Gen 3 vendor hall, has graciously decided to buy out the entire vendor hall so you can vend for free. Every table and booth has been paid for by FaZe Connect. There's nothing you need to do. In a few days, we will start processing your refunds. This is a huge change, so bear with us while we work on the refunds. If you have any other issues or concerns, please reach out to us, and we will we will answer to the best of our ability. It might take a few weeks for all refunds to process. We would personally like to say a huge thank you to FaZe Connect for allowing us to provide you with the best vendor hall experience at Off-Kai Expo yet. Every vendor should verify they are registered for the convention by navigating to reg.offkaiexpo.com/register and selecting the 0 vendor registration option as the badge included for the table or booth. And then you have here Sakana, LOL, the world Sakana, you. Absolutely 100% based. And once again, like, this is the sort of thing you should be doing. Like, as a CEO, you should be doing shit like that, right? Like, this is how you win goodwill. This is not, this is super 100%, you know, absolute.
Hello, beso department.
You know, Riku, take notes, you know, other people take notes. This is how you do it. You win people with love, not with, you know, like absolute fear and domination, right? And, you know, it's a good thing. So I just want to give a quick shout out. You know, whenever anybody does something positive, I think it's important on us to be positive and to give credit where credit is due, not just to be negative all the time, but to actually say, hey, look, FaZe, the FaZe CEO, Sakana, is doing this right. So super based. Any thoughts on that, Gator? You're going to Off-Kai, right?
I am going to Off-Kai, me and Necro.
Yeah. There you go. So I expect some photos from the FaZe.
Absolutely. We will bow. We will do our best Niji Sanji bow to Sakana. He is definitely not negligible.
Negligible. If there's not a Sakana cosplay, like what is anybody doing? What are you even doing at Off-Kai? There's not a Sakana cosplay at this point. There's got to be.
There's going to be like a billion.
Said Sakana also took Pippa to Japan. There's a clip where he bought tons of drinks for Tenma, Pippa, and Clara, including extremely expensive sake that Pippa downed. Pippa said Sakana ate for 5 people. Hey, listen, people, this is something that y'all don't know, and this is because of y'all's super racism. But Asians can eat a lot. They may be small, but they can eat a shit ton. Like when I was in Korea and I would go to like a Galbi restaurant or like whatever, like I was going to Samgyeopsal or whatever, I would always see like women that were fucking a fourth of my size eating like 4 times the amount. Like it was just ungodly. I'm like, I don't know how these people can eat so much. This is it's like absolutely it's absolutely crazy. In fact, the culture is in Korea when you order food to order for 1 extra person. So if you're a group of 2, let's say you're there with a friend or you're on a date or whatever with a partner, business partner, you order for 3, right? So him ordering for 5 it's not shocking. It's not shocking. Face connect.
Face connect.
Very good. And by the way, there's I want to give a shout out. There's a couple other people who wanted to talk about the Pippa going to Japan thing. I had like a debate on Twitter or in a discussion on Twitter, and I know some people wanted to talk about that since she came back. So I may do a stream on that like this week. It'll be a fun stream, like, you know, about living in Japan and just not even about Pippa generally. That's kind of the conversation starter, but just like about actually living in Japan and some like expectation versus reality, some of the pros, some of the cons. So maybe a fun one I'm going to get going this week, just as a fun topic, very positive and helping people make a better decision if you ever decide you want to think about living in Japan, like Pippa. Nico Daisy became a YouTube member. Welcome to the RPG. Let's see here. Virgin Tazumi versus Chad Yagu and Sakana. Yes. Please make that meme. Please somebody send me this meme for next stream. Please. Chaos Smashes, why do you look constipated in your PFP? Which PFP? I'm not. I'm with this one. Is it this one? This one right here. I will launch message. I'm not constipated. Don't forget the sea women. We'll be there too. Hey, I never forget the sea women, the sea dogs, the sea cats, the sea cucumbers, whatever you are, the sea Apache helicopters, whatever you are, all good. Get out there and live freely.
Everybody wants the ship waifu.
Yes. Why did you stream before I wake up? Just kidding. I'll rewatch when the stream done. Also, Sakana is a base Chad indeed.
H2O Kada, the Rainmaker.
Semi-Eclectic says, I am not a coffee person, but Fishman keeps giving me more and more reasons to at least give it a try.
I'm going to buy so much FaZe coffee at Offkai.
I am not even sponsored by. Can I get an affiliate link? You know what? I should talk to Sakana. Can I get an affiliate link? Amy says, I think it's cool they do it without the virtue signaling. They just do it. Yes, exactly. He did it quietly. He didn't try to flex. This is actually something that came out like by people digging and like looking at it and through them sending the notice. They were just going to do it. I mean, it is good advertising to be a little bit pragmatic about it, but at the same time, like, this is what you should be doing. This is good PR. And why is Niji and Sanji not doing similar things? Just asking.
Because we know they have the money. They have way more money than FaZe does. They could have easily done something like that.
Way more money than FaZe. Also, thank you, $50 super sticker from Leprechaun Gold for the Shiba Inu. Thank you so much. Appreciate you, Leprechaun Gold. Thank you so much. Tazumi's physical existence is negligible. Unless Silbury says, Kurosanji's folly has engendered so many opportunities in the VTuber space. Sakana is casting the net. This is a very good point, Silbury. So when other people fuck up, it's a good chance to show you're doing the right thing. So, you know, I can say Idol took advantage of that by, I don't know, getting in contact with me, helping to work on their contract. They're redrafting their contract in general, right? Other companies are saying, like Sakana here, when he's saying, okay, Offkai, we are going to step up, because guess who pulled out? And this is going to be the next topic we talk about, Doki. So Offkai is sort of like a no man's land, which, you know, World War I, that was sort of the land where no man treads, because, you know, both sides contest it. So both Doki and Niji Sanji, said, you know, okay, we're pulling out. We're not going to be at this event. So Doki is not going to be at this event, and Niji is not going to be at this event, right? So
right, and it makes sense for Offkai to try to remain neutral, because, you know, they would, and maybe things get smoothed out over time, and it's a situation where they can have, Niji Sanji there and Doki Bird there at the same time. That's
maybe
their hope.
in a year, maybe
Yeah.
in 2 years. Maybe in 1 year, probably in 2 years, it'll be fine.
Right.
Probably. Not for sure, but probably. And that's what they would want, right? Because look, they're a convention, they're a business as well. I was referring to a YouTube profile photo. Well, that's because anytime you're doing anything on YouTube, it is like taking a big dump. Just 100%.
True.
100% facts. Speaking of 100% facts.
Long,
Necessary long man break. It's like you guys will never know when the long man is coming, but he's gonna come. All right. So Shiori says, how about this? The clip is called Kobo's Mom Appears as Haka and Shira's off collab one day. Wholesome Hollow Live, Hollow Mom. Let me see how long it is. Kobo's Mom. We've got another full segment here, guys, and I've got already a bunch of clips queued up. So if I can't get to it, it's gonna be the next one. It'll be the next stream. So just so you know, because I've got to go in 30 minutes. Spencer Howard says, Pippa and Daisy, how many girls owe their lives to Sakana? Yeah. I'll say this. Pippa would have been successful at any company she went to, but I think FaZe was the right fit for her. So
absolutely,
because Pippa she knows VTubing well, but she's allowed to thrive at FaZe Connect.
Right. I for people that wonder about Pippa, I want you to go back, and not just because it's funny to meme on Pippa by listening to Pippa the Rippa, but I want you to pay closer attention to the lyrics, because you'll get a very deeper understanding of where she came from and what FaZe Connect means to her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I think that a lot of people missed that in their first listen. Sometimes you'll listen to a song and be like, man, that's such a banger. But then you listen a couple more times and then all of a sudden you hear the lyrics and you're like, oh, that's actually really deep. I didn't think of that.
Yep. Just here. I mean, we'll play 2 seconds here.
Yeah. Here's your superstar tonight. Yeah, you know who this is. It's your one and only.
You're not gonna strike for this.
You know how it's gonna go.
I don't know.
Down.
Pippa's probably filing the DMCA right now as we speak.
Yeah. DMCA.
I'm a mega idol. Always on me, always on you. You think I'm silly? I'm here to save the world. I'm gonna fight till the end. I am a superstar inside the screen so bright. I am the one that you desire day and night. I am a superstar inside the screen so bright. I am the only one. Yeah.
Okay, DMCA.
It's actually the next part that I was talking about.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, that said, you guys can watch all the rest of it. You guys can get the whole thing there. As Pippa now gets my channel taken down. Kitzerg says Narissa Ravencroft of Hololive EN just released their first original song. Oh, cool. 665k subs in only 3/4 of a year. We also had Risa Mama this year. That is awesome. That is so cool that they were so successful in such a short period of time. Freaking awesome.
Dude, Advent is killing it.
Like, I mean, that's insane success for you, especially for YouTube. That is nuts. 3/4 of a year, and you're at that. Yeah, you're almost at 1 million. Nuts. Major Role says, asked last stream about WeebCon and Land issues. Was curious if you and Gator chat. No, I have not. I've been traveling, so but actually, I want to research Land just because the name sounds funny.
Yeah, I looked into a little bit. I haven't had a chance to watch the video, but it seems like it was a lot of coordination issues, and that perhaps the venue, like some spaces in the venue, weren't big enough to accommodate all the people that wanted to be there and interact with certain VTubers and streamers.
Got it. Do you like to do the bro tug? Legal mindset. Bro tug Gator.
Degenerates. You guys degenerates.
Well, we don't need any Niji sisters up in here.
No, this is not what's going on here.
No.
Leprechaun Gold, thank you for the Shiba. Appreciate you for the $20 super sticker. Appreciate you. Einhander for 5 says, I DM'd you the Kobo's mom clip the other super chat mentioned, and I would like to request it as well. Okay, I'll put it at the end. I got it pulled up here. So, all right. So next thing I want to announce, talk about Doki Bird. Let's talk about Doki Bird real quick. She's back and she's coming to Anime North. It's pretty awesome. So it's just good to see her out there. I just want to put out there, yeah, she's putting herself back out there. She's not letting, what happened in the past stop. She's moving forward, getting herself out there. This is really awesome. And if people want a chance to support her, I think it's a great way to, tell the con, hey, I came here for Doki. I'm doing this for, I'm came here to support her. Just let them know that's why you came. They have a lot of surveys. These cons ask you why you came, what you came to see. Make sure you put that in there. Hey, I came to see her. So if you want to support, that's a really great way to support, especially if you're a Canuck. I believe Anime North is Toronto. Am I crazy here?
I think you are correct.
It's usually
Toronto.
the Great White North. Yeah, Toronto, and it is May 24th to 26th. So if you are in the Canada area, if you are getting mauled by polar bears, make sure you check out Anime North and support. And I love this. I love that they have her labeled indie VTuber, right? You got no Kurasanji tag on there. Now, I want to know, I haven't looked, who else Anime North... I guess
Phase Connect will also be at Anime North.
Well, that makes sense. They are Canada-based company, so I would expect them to be there.
Specifically, Phase Euphoria will be there.
Let me point out this too. This is really cool about Anime North. They've they've sorted out VTubers
and invaders.
So you've got Phase Connect, Phase Invaders, right? Really, really cool. So awesome. So hopefully there's more folks there. But Doki leading the charge there is great. It's awesome. Okay, so that's what I had for that. Let's see here. Rose Keela says, calling all monkeys, calling all gators. Grab your saddles. We ride at dawn.
Fighting monkey.
Giddy up. The Einhander says, comrades, rejoice. In light of popular demand, we have released a new double-sided Vox Tenga. Bro tug for all comrades. Is it a bro tug if you do it with your third arm? I'm just asking the real questions here. I'm just asking the real questions. Oh, these clips are great. These clips are absolutely fantastic. Okay. I guess since two of you requested this clip, let's do this before I get into the Stellar Blade stuff real quick. Although I feel like I may need to do, because I've only got a limited amount of time here, and I think that the main video I want to talk about, the Revs video is 11 minutes, so this may have to be a separate topic. And hopefully I can get some more people on to talk about it. Maybe some folks who have also been really following this. But let's play this Kobo's mom clip, because Kobo's mom apparently has it going on, because everyone wants to know all about Kobo's mom. Here we go.
They might have food that we've never tried. They might have different flavors.
Like the Indonesian KFC apparently.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Are you streaming?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You must try my cook.
Oh,
okay.
This is chicken salad.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Terima kasih.
Terima kasih. Yeah, it's Mama Sela.
Yes, Mami Sela.
Mami Sela.
Yes, brought spinach. Kacang panjang is long cake, soya cake.
Oh,
I was like,
Tempe is tempe.
Tempe.
Oh, tempe, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Whole tempe.
Fried tempe.
Oh, all right.
Okay. Let me try. I'll try the tempe. Oh, damn, it's good.
Oh, very good.
Spicy sauce, peanut sauce.
Oh, spicy peanut sauce. Ooh, wait.
I'm not good with spice.
You try a little bit.
Yeah.
No, I want to try
Tempe.
tempeh.
It's their stream! Aku! Tapi mereka lagi stream!
It's good cooking, Cowboy.
Hey guys, sorry ya ganggu.
No worries. Thank you for
Hey, you guys
cooking.
supposed to pour the peanut sauce here though.
Or we're gonna die.
You're gonna die.
I'm gonna die.
Oh yeah.
This is really good.
I'm really bad with
Oh
spice.
my god, weak stomach.
I am.
Called out. Called the fuck out.
Guys, emang you can speak English? Enggak, itu mami jawab dari mereka.
She's getting localized.
Mami masih mau nggak? Streaming ikut pindah.
Oh my god.
Sorry guys, okay.
Thank you. She's so nice. Meritocracy.
That's funny.
I like the tempeh. The tempeh has such a good flavor.
It does.
Yeah.
That was funny. That was really funny.
That
Thank
was
you,
really
guys.
great.
I really appreciate that. And like also, especially living abroad, like that's something that I think like people can really appreciate because wherever I've traveled, like I just have been with so many families where like the grandma comes in, the aunt comes in, the mom comes in with food, and like there's that moment, you know, and it's like it doesn't matter what you're doing. It doesn't matter if it's like I remember I think I was like in Poland and I was on like a really important call. I think it was like a job interview, and someone's like my friend's grandmother came in with tea, and it was like that tea was being delivered. It did not matter if I was like launching the space shuttle, that tea was going to be delivered, and like you know with proper procedure, you know. So it was just, it's really I love moments like that. They're really special, and they really bring like a certain amount of personality and warmth to the stream. I think it's super awesome. Michelotti says Doki is nearly at 10,000 K subs. Sayu is nearly at 100K. Yes, she's almost there. Get her there. Main Mint is at 200K. It's great to see the three of them reaching their next sub milestone. Really awesome. And to be honest, Doki's going to get to 1 million. Sayu's going to get to 200K, and Main Mint is going to get to 500,000 before you know it. It's going to happen, guys. It's going to happen. Einander says still counts in Soviet Sanji. In Soviet Sanji, third arm counts as leg too. Kawa Zipardem for 2 says, we're going to have to start a petition for Hollow Moms. I am 100% for it. I'm for Hollow Moms. Big fan. Big fan. Einander says, this is why I seconded that clip. Even if it's not the funny, it's wholesome and relatable as fuck. I 100% agree with that. I 100% agree with that. My mom, if she was watching the stream, knows that too. She's coming in no matter what. I mean, I've had her come in all sorts of times when I'm trying to do things. And it's like, oh, you're streaming? I'm like, you know I'm streaming. When else am I screaming in my room? You know, like talking to people, like probably streaming. Like that was something you didn't need to do. Kobo said, it's their stream. And Kobo Mom, it's my cook. Thank you, Leprechaun Gold for 10. Appreciate the Shiba. Once again, Shiba, thank you so much. Appreciate that. All right. So let's talk a little bit about, not too much, but a little bit about Stellar Blade, because I've got like 15 minutes here. So what I wanted to do is like, this is a very actually kind of a nuanced topic. And I know that shout out to Rev. I know he did a video on this here. Stellar Blade was forced to censor this. And then there's been a lot of other good people like my friend Grums, who's posted on Twitter a lot about this, about what they've censored and what
and
they've
they
not
shadow
censored.
banned him for it. Did you see
that? Yes, they did shadow ban him for it, for posting stuff like this, which by the way, guys, like this video because I'll probably get in the naughty camp. But while I'm talking about this, I'm going to put it on mute, but I'm just going to play the uncensored versions of all of the outfits while we kind of sit here. This is the uncensored, super based version of all of the outfits from Stellar Blade. So this is before the day one patch. So we get this sort of day one patch culture where like we're seeing a lot of games that are being censored or nerfed day one, right? This is something that we see happening. Now, what I want to talk about from a legal perspective is because Shift Up, their whole marketing was this game is uncensored. And this game is going to come out. It's going to be uncensored, unnerfed. You're going to get it just as it is. And this argument about the day one patch is separate from the woke idiots. And by the way, when I say woke idiots, I don't even mean people that are left. I mean people that are like a small deranged minority that is trying to androgynize people in general versus just letting people be the way they want to be, which I think is more, is more apt if you are consistent, right? Which, Jesus Christ, this outfit. Anyways,
I know. I'm like,
we're gonna get, by the way, we're gonna definitely get, we're definitely gonna get yellow. So make sure you smash the like button. Make sure you tell people about this. But that said, with this,
you're about 2 outfits away from getting the yellow sign.
Yeah, we'll eventually get there. But that said, people wanted this to not come out. Well, those woke people that wanted to cancel the game just for having a sexy or having a woman that's attractive in it, they failed. But this is now a separate fight. This is a fight over the censorship. Now, the Shift Up, which is a developer, said the game is uncensored. And so there were day one patches which took some of these outfits and they covered them up a bit. We're about to get to the cybernetic bondage outfit where they put a strip of fabric to cover her under boob. So you only see like the very top of her boob, not the bottom or middle of her boobs. So that's some of the quote unquote censorship that's going on there. Now, the question is, was this Shift Up or was it Sony? Now, mind you, this game is already rated M for mature. So it's already something that's limited in audience. It's something that is not going to go out to children. But they felt the need, for example, in this next costume, which will come up right here in 1 second. But they felt the need to censor it. So you'll see when she turns around here in this outfit that you can kind of see like the mid boob, not the actual, once again, you're not seeing more than you'd see in a bathing suit, but they felt the need to cover that like middle area here. Let me rewind this like 2 seconds, right? So you can see. So this like middle area here, right here, they decided they need to cover that.
They need to put fabric there so that it doesn't show like flesh color.
Yeah, so this part here needs to be covered up. Like that makes a big difference. Once again, we're getting really like this is very weird reverse puritanical stuff. And to me, that's got to be Sony. But here's the problem. Shift Up, the developer, is saying, no, that was us. That was how we actually wanted it to be. And what I think is going on here is contractual. I think there is legal limits between Shift Up and Sony, because in order to market and sell the game, there is a contract between Sony and Shift Up. And within that contract, I guarantee you, is a non-disparagement clause. So meaning that the companies cannot talk bad about each other or disparage each other. So I'm pretty sure that even if it was Sony, they can't say it themselves. I'm pretty sure the developer who's getting the pressure can't say it was Sony that made us do this. I'm pretty sure they would be perhaps in trouble for that if they went out and said Sony forced us to do this, or the woke people at Sony did this. That would count as disparagement. So I'm pretty sure they have to own it themselves and take responsibility for, for that. So we'll see what comes out and what shakes out. From what I've heard, they are having meetings about this and they're talking about this and they've been asked about these things in press conferences. But this is a real downer because once again, you wanted to have, an uncensored, unfiltered thing. Now, that being said, what's still out there still looks really good. It looks better than any super ESG sweet baby, property. It still looks good. I mean, for example, this outfit here, Daily Mascot, right? This hasn't largely been censored, right? You can just get this outfit. Still looks good. Still looks quite visually appealing. But that said, people wanted it.
She still got dumps like a truck.
Yes, yeah. So that's still there. The more important thing is perhaps overall saying, okay, this is generally what the audience wants. So I guess the sad thing is if it leads to a boycott, it's kind of like a ultimate win for ESG. Like ESG wins in the end because the types of games that will be made will be more like the woke style AAA games. By the way, this is one of the censored outfits. What they did was they added they kind of hiked this up so the cleavage is removed. In a little bit.
They also extended the bottom so that it showed less of her hips.
Yes, so it covers more of the hip, right? I think the ass is still there, which, you know, once again, never complaining about rabbits. I'm just saying real quick. So let's cover this here. Hayden says, yeah. Oh, sorry. Let me get that clip here. Let me pause this so I can hit that clip here real quick.
Not a sin. I cannot absolve you. Mega based.
Hayden says Sony is a member of Bridge. The goal is androgynous beings in all parts of life. Normalize. They need to cover femininity as much as possible. Dig into Bridge. Kirsha has, and they have people in some groups. Guys,
yes.
We had a stream with Kirsha on Bridge. I was one of the first major platforms for Kirsha to talk about Bridge. She's now gone on many other channels to talk about it, but she was actually talking about it first on my channel, at least that I saw from like major, you know, big platforms, and maybe also like Pippa as well. But outside the VTubing sphere, like breaking out of the VTubing sphere, Kirsha I think was first on my channel, and then she went on with Stutter and Craig and with It's a Gundam and a bunch of other folks. So Kirsha's been on point, and she's been right the entire time. Like Kirsha's been right. She, once again, the Alex Jones of VTubing here, but I mean, she was 100% on point. Amin says, "God damn it, Kobo! It's a national secret." Spencer says Fishman flew out a manager to Pippa because she needed help to organize documents for a passport. All the talent say how much they love. Wow, that is crazy.
That actually happened.
That is actually kind of nuts because like you can do all that stuff yourself. It is not that hard. Pippa, sorry Pippa, like bro, you should be able to do that yourself as an adult. I'm just saying. Hypnotic and Rapture said free Stellar Blade and Mark Kern. Mark Kern has been shadow banned by the freaks, is not safe for work. Get his word out, tweets out. Yeah, and to an extent, I believe at some point on Twitter I was shadow banned, so I don't know whether they ever undid that, right? I mean, notice like my tweets won't get as much as they should for, you know, stuff that should get more. So there's always folks like that, and sometimes that happens to me on YouTube covering certain topics. So make sure to share out good content, share out Grums' stuff on Twitter, share out videos on this, and that's why I'm felt the need to cover it because it gets that information out there. Mike Honey says, apparently using UU in your business name is cursed. Pippa's UU TV CEO. Wait, what? Okay, I guess I need to watch this.
Oh no.
Okay, because it made me say it.
Yeah, he's a big fan of Panko. He's
okay.
He mind broke Panko a couple weeks back.
Oh, nice. I love it. Spencer Howard says woke's cold, aren't progressive, they're Puritans. Yeah, it's weird. Like it's not even progressives, because I actually had, and by the way, I really do appreciate the people that are like, I am on the left, politically left, and they comment on my videos and I respond. I say, thank you for your position, thank you for this. Because more and more, I think we're all united in this, particularly in the VTubing sphere. Like we all can appreciate our waifus. And for the Fujos out there, don't think I forget see you. I see you, Fujos. The husbandos, okay? Need you, sisters. Don't send that Jakarta hate at me, okay? Come on, I'm still here. You know, we want you to be able to have attractive, you know, waifus and husbandos. That's fine. That's fine. We support this, okay? And there's nothing wrong with that. And I'm very much anti-censorship. You know, that's one of probably my strongest opinions is anti-censorship. I think all stuff should be allowed out there. You know, just put an appropriate rating on it if you want. Keep kids away from it. That's fine. But, you know, other than that, let people who are adults do what they want to do. They're adults. Shiori Novelite Night says devs themselves are based. They know what the gamer wants. They said themselves they want no censorship, then suddenly censor. If not Sony, who else? What do you think?
They have another game. Well, they have another game that's not censored, Nikkei. And so, like, they don't have a history of censoring stuff. So it has to be Sony. And I'm sure there's probably contractual obligations that if Sony says, hey, you have to do this, that they have to do it. And per the terms of their contract, they can't say that, oh no, this was Sony's fault, we didn't want to do it, they have to kind of go out there and they have to eat shit on it.
Yes. They've got to, because that's a contractual term where they say this is going to count as whatever, as we believe, in our opinion, this counts as prawn or mature or whatever. So you've got to change this. So I believe there's a contractual term without ever reading the contract. I can tell you there's some sort of clause in there that allows Sony control.
Right. And it's like Square Enix's problem with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, that because of the low number of sales of the PlayStation 5.
Can we appreciate the side boob here? Can we appreciate
that's very nice side boob.
Can we just
Hello, best department.
Okay, let's continue here. All right. So
because of the low number of sales, Square Enix is stuck because they can't release like a PC version, because the sales are bad. They have to wait until the contractual terms say, okay, now you can release the PC version. But until then, they're eating shit.
Correct. And they're going to be stuck because they're not going to be able to get out the versions they want to get out until the PC version. And then what are they going to say in the PC version? Oh yeah, actually it was censored. Or be like, well, we felt like this was a better direction to go in, because they know what's going to sell and they know what people want, right? And they know that when people want, and the add-ons that the people would want would be extra outfits, extra things to add on to this. So let's.
I do think it will make people reconsider Sony's marketplace in the future.
Yes.
And that Sony may be destroying themselves by doing all of this heavy-handed censorship.
I sent a link of the petition in email, so thank you for that. Let me get that. This is the Free Stellar Blade petition. Thank you. What the fuck? I didn't get the link, but I think I've got that that petition. Is it on the change.org one? So it's Free Stellar Blade. Here it is. I'll put it in the chat so you guys have it. So change.org/free Stellar Blade. I'll also put it in the description. I also put in the artwork credit for the Sakana artwork that was off of Twitter by Sakana Art. So that's there as well. So you'll get both things there for you to see. So change.org is now up in the description. Cool. I think the Fluffy Bear outfit is the lewdest outfit of the ones I've seen in the stream. Wait, what? Why is Fluffy Bear? Is that a pedo bear reference? Like what? I don't get it.
I don't know if he was going with that or if he was going with furries.
Yeah, I don't know either. Don Comic says, if I remember correctly, Shift Up said they did censor the previous game, Destiny Child, before it came to the global market. I haven't heard about that, so that's new news to me.
I haven't either. I just know about Nikkei.
Oh, are they zooming in now? Oh boy. Oh dear. Kai Guy says devs should just leave Sony if they want freedom. And that may be what what Gator's saying. Like people are just going to say, okay, we're not going to develop things for this platform because we know what they stand for. What they stand for is censorship and in total control, right? So we're just not going to do it. Jacob says, even if it's not even Puritans, because these people are degenerates, they're hypocrites. Stellar Blade is bad when Eve is all covered up. By the way, this is once again, they felt the need to cover this and hike the thigh, right? Like to be honest, once again, if you go to any beach, you're going to see more than that. If you turn on Instagram, if you just activate Instagram, you're going to get more than this.
If you watch a music video, you're probably going to see more skin than that.
Yes. This is wild to me that they feel the need to censor that. Like Lizzo is showing more than that on a usual, but it's Lizzo, so it's okay, right? Hayden says Stellar Blade is selling consoles. The local area is out of PS5 disc consoles. It still has digital consoles. I think Stellar Blade is the reason I'm trying to buy a disc version because of the game. There you go. False story. Legal Mindset attacked by Nietzsche sisters for sexism. Is Legal Mindset actually sexist? As today, we're here with Legal Mindset, who's involved in this situation. We'll see. I'll definitely get some hate, but it's fine. Guys,
Legal Mindset accused of the male gaze.
The male gaze. He's looking at boba. He is guilty of enjoying side boba. Yeah. Once again, I'm gonna play it again.
Listen, I cannot absolve you. Mega based.
There we go. All right. Sony Sanji. Soon. Silbury says there's an entire subculture of erotic doujins called amateur manga, which involve lewd things happening inside of a kigurumi, often a bit.
Oh no.
Disgusting. What the fuck?
Sorry, the what the fuck was the one that really should have been rolled first. But yeah. Are butter dishes a thing in Asia? I'm not not going off on a 30-minute Nick Ricada rant on butter dishes. I have better things to do with my life, including I've got to go in literally 2 minutes here. And Einander with the last super chat says, do you think one day we'll be able to get your opinion on Stop Killing Games campaign that started up somewhat recently? I don't know about that, but I'll check it out. So Einander, I will check that out.
It's about games ending their service and basically saying, F you, go home, you lose all your stuff.
Oh, yes. I do think there should be legal consequences for that too. I do think there should be consequences for saying you're inducing people to buy and then saying, oh yeah, we're going to all of a sudden stop offering service for this game. That to me just is fraud, at a certain point. Like at a certain point, it becomes fraudulent inducement. You've induced people to play, and now you're cutting it off. Particularly if the game is mostly multiplayer and most of the functionality is multiplayer, you should have to give out some sort of refund, at least a partial refund, if you've cut services, and they haven't been there for a specific period of time, at least. Yeah, I definitely could see that. Marksman says still better than if it was a pedo bear reference. I agree. And on that note, Gator, thank you for joining. I want to leave with a clip here that two people sent to me. So this is a very important and very pivotal message from Shondo.
I believe in a future where all cute anime girls are treated the same. I believe in a future where big Western California Corpo cannot discriminate against a virtual woman based off of the size of her chest. I believe that big boobies, small boobies, no boobies will all stand together and hold hands. Hags and lollies will be united, will be equal, will be loved. I believe that we all deserve happiness and we all deserve merchandise.
Amen to that, Shondo. And on that note, guys, stay based. Follow Gator on X. Follow him, the Gator Gamer. And we will catch you all next time.
Long